blindness is not what defines me.
You'd think the last place in the world to have a bragging right would be in our prisons. In Arizona, we have it.
Braille behind bars, Arizona prison's best kept secret. Part 2, the impact of the prison Braille program.
So when I first set out to do this story, I emailed Mark Ashton and Jared Leslie at Foundation for Blind Children, and I said, I really want to talk to a student. I think that's going to really drive this point home. It's going to really tell people who this story is about and for. And they said, oh, well, you got to talk to Maggie. And I was like, okay, who's Maggie? And they start to tell me about this precocious 17-year-old who has been a part of their program for as long as they can remember.
A lot of the books that I've read in my curriculum don't exist in Braille anywhere else except that they made them for me. So that has been really wonderful because I would not have been able to get the curriculum that I've had.
Maggie actually lost her vision in junior high, and she was born knowing she would eventually lose her vision. So she, very similarly to these inmates who are now creating these books for her, learned how to use Braille while still having vision, which is a really different concept than most people who've learned Braille and use it every day. We actually spoke with her dad, and he was so honest about what that was like from a parent's perspective.
Maggie was born as a 24-week preemie, 24 weeks and 3 days. And so 3 days earlier, and they wouldn't have even tried to save her. And so she was born able to hold in her hand. Now preemies have varying oxygen levels, and so she was on oxygen, external oxygen support till she was about 2. But when kids are really young, their eyes don't do so well with the varying oxygen levels. So her eyes never fully developed. And when she was about 3, one eye was replaced with a prosthetic, and she had some vision in the other eye until she was 14. And then there she was in class one day when she was 14. And at the beginning of class, she could, at that point, only read text about this tall. At the end of that class period, she couldn't see it all.
Maggie's mom has a history in the Department of Corrections. Her mom was actually in the Department of Corrections, so she has this history, this knowledge of what it's like intimately. And she's also a teacher at Maggie's school.
Now that you're on the receiving end, how do you advocate for this program? What do you say to those who didn't know it existed, and what it's done to enhance your lives?
I would say thank you to those who did it. I wish I could see them and tell them. I think I would want to them to see the kind of person that Maggie has become because of what these people did for her. They had to learn something really hard. I can't do Braille. It's really hard for sighted people to know how to learn to do Braille. So they made the choice to do something better. They made the choice to give back and connect to people, not because they were going to get fame and fortune, right? But just because they believed in it